Level 2, Lesson 8, the first character is Lien, which means even though or to connect. So it's a ch, cart, hung, pia, ja, shu, hung, ch, and then the walking radical, dien, hung, ja, na. So it's a series of carts traveling together. So a connection or although or even to such much. Next character, bow, to report. Traditional character is this plus this. This was traditionally a criminal, and this is a depiction. I've said before that it's a depiction of an insignia of office, but it's actually a hand. Depiction of a hand beating a person like that. So together it means punishment or to report something. So the character, I'll move it up here, is Tisho Pong. It's now been changed to this. Hung, Shugo, T, Hung Ja Go, Pie, Hung Ja Na, Bao. Gao, to tell, inform, report, is said to be a cow, niu, over mouth. So you treat somebody with your mouth the way a cow would to attack somebody. To me, that seems a little suspicious, but it'll help you remember it. Pie, hung, shu, hung, and then the ko, shu, hung, ja, hung, gao. Song is the next character. Pine tree or to relax, in which case you're just using the same character for a different word. So you've got the tree radical and gong for phonetic. Hung, shugo, pie, dien, pie, dien, pie, ja, dien, song. Qiang, strong. On the left-hand side, you have a depiction of a bow, and on the right-hand side is a phonetic. Well, let's just write it out here. So there's our bow, a recurved bow. Hung, ja, hung, shu, ja, ja, go, shu, hung, ja, hung, shu, hung, ja, hung, shu, ti, dien, qiang, strong. Wan is a roof. Dien, dien, hung, go, there's our roof. And then the phonetic is underneath it. Hung, hung, pie, shu, wan, go. And yuan indicates a spring or the origin of things, but it's just phonetic in this case. When the roof is put on the house, it's finished. Wan, finished. Dao. Let's take a look at the traditional character here. Dao means to lead, and it's pretty basic explanation. So here you have Dao, which is a head going down a road, travel, Dao. Dao, the path, a road. And then this is the hand, sometimes considered an inch because you've got the hand and you're pointing to the wrist. But in this case, it's just a hand, somebody guiding you down the road. So in traditional characters, this is simplified. Hung, ja, hung, shuan, go, such a simplified form of that. And then the hand. Hung, shu, go, dien, dao. to lead, to guide. Fu is the next character. Just means a person, a fellow, a grown person. So basically you have a person with the arms and then the hairpin in their hair to indicate they're grown to manhood, so now they have to use a hairpin in their hair. At least that's the explanation. Hung, pie, na, fu. The next character is just phonetic. It's probably a depiction of a snake. You got a roof on top, dian, hungo, and then B is a knife or a spoon. Pie, shuango. Ta, it. It's thought that, these two characters were probably the same character once. Both depict a snake. And for example, in ta, they're both phonetic for ta. Jia is the next character, a festival or a section. And you have the grass radical on top, hung, shu. And then the bottom part is just phonetic. Hung, ja, go, shu, jia. In, to lead or to guide, is a depiction of a bowstring. So you've got the bow on the left side, hung, ja, hung, shu, ja, go, and then the long shu, depicting the bowstring. In, to guide, to be led to do something, also index, that kind of thing. Gu, ancient, is such an ancient character. It is just a depiction of shi, hung, shu, over mouth. Shu, hung, ja, hung. So a mnemonic that can help you remember it when things are told from the mouth 10 times. That's an ancient thing, 10 tellings. Dai, an age, or a period of time, or a generation in the broad sense. You have a person on the left, Renzapong, Pie, Shu. The right-hand side is E, a phonetic, also a depiction of a weapon, just used phonetically in this case. So you've got hung, xie go, dian, dai. Gu. Gu, the reason for, or a story. You've got the gu, ancient, as phonetic, hung, shu, hung, ja, hung. And on the right side, you've got pu, which means to strike or hit. You've got the right hand here, and person there. So it's actually a depiction of a hand with a stick, which has nothing to do with gu, but it just helps you remember the character. Gu, the reason for, a purpose, to tell a story. Color. It's worthwhile to talk about this in parts. So the phonetic is this component on top of a plant. So it's a depiction. This top part is actually a short form of a hand, and then it's plucking the plants from out of the ground, cai. So cai actually means to pick, to pluck something. And then shan, these three lines indicate feathers or shadows. What does it have to do with colors? To me, these are the impressions or the shading of colors. I don't know why it's used here, but that's how I remember it. Pie, dian, 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 hang, shugo, pie, na, pie, pie, pie. Cai, colors, multicolored, colorful. Miao is a character that means to describe, or it's used for scanning something. So you have the Tisho Pong, Hung, Shugo, T, and then the phonetic is a sprout. So you've got the grass radical on top, Hung, Shu, Shu, and the field below. Shu, Hung, Ja, Hung, Shu, Hung, Miao, to describe, to scan, to overview. Li, as in Li-shi, which is history. Here you have the shelter, Hung, Pie. So that's a depiction of a mountain side or a cliff, almost always depicting a shelter. And then you have the phonetic inside, which for strength. Hung, Ja, Go, Pie. And Li originally depicted a hand plow or a digging stick, and by extension, the strength that was needed to use it. In this case, it's just phonetic. Li is a succession of things in a series. Li-shi, a succession of events that makes history. Qu, to be interesting. It has the zhou zepang. So in this case, it's not this zhou zepang, but it's actually zhou. Hung, shu, hung, shu, hung, pie, and then you need to make this na longer. Na, because you need to put in chu, phonetic. So first you have the ear, hung, shu, hung, hung, shu, ti, and then the right hand, hung, pie, na. So chu is just phonetic. Chu can mean to grasp, to grab. So the right ear grabbing someone by the, or the right hand grabbing someone by the ear. And then with the motion radical, just phonetic in this case. R is originally considered to be depiction of a beard, and it was just used for its sound. So it's a grammatical particle, R. Hung, pie, shu. Hung, ja, go, shu. Shu. R. R means by itself, and in that case. So it's used together with qie to make R qie. They're just phonetic components to describe grammatical words. Qie is anciently a depiction of an altar or some kind of sacrificial stand. Shu, hung, ja, shu, shu, hung, qie. And so it's just phonetic for archie, moreover. So zhi, to support something, is the hand with a phonetic. So tisho pang, hung, shugo, ti, and then the character on the right is a branch. Hung, shu, in the right hand. Hung, pie, na. Zhi, to support something. Xiao. We've seen this before in Xiao, a school, a campus. You've got the wood radical, mu zepang, hung, shugo, Pie, Dian, and then Jiao on the left for phonetic, or on the right for phonetic. Dian, Heng, Dian, Dian, Pie, Na, Xiao. A campus, a school. The next character, the item on the left, Yan, color or countenance. The thing on the left here, Yan, is not used often for its own meaning. It means elegant. It's a depiction of one, which means patterns. We've got shelter, and then feathers again. So it's a depiction of lines drawn, I guess, in the house or somewhere, depicting the elegance or decoration or ornamentation. And then the thing on the right here is the head, and it's just used as a an item to make it different from its original character. Just an added component so it can be used for other purposes. Dian, Heng, Dian, Dian, Heng, Pie, 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 Heng, Pie, Shu, Heng, Zhe, Pie, Dian. Yan, color, countenance, expression. Zhou. Zhou means, it can mean week, as in weekend. It actually is an indication of a revolution of a period of time, so a circle, or it can, so an anniversary of a week, for example, or it is a depiction of a surrounding of things. So the ancient form is considered to be this. You've got crops growing in each section of the field. So Zhou, Pie, that's a long extended Pie, Heng, Zhe, Go, Heng, Shu, Heng. Oh, excuse me, this one has to be longer. So that's a 2 on top and a Ko on the bottom. Shu, Heng, Zhe, Heng. So notice this part here has to be longer than that one. Zhou. Mo. Mo is the end of things. So Zhou Mo would be weekend. And so Wei is the future, the small branches that are coming up. Mo is the end. The end, so that it's the end of the branches. So this is the branches emerging, this is the branches at the end. And that's in contrast to Bun. So notice this mark here marks the roots. This marks the newly emerging branches. And this marks the lately drooping branches, the ends of the branches. So Heng, and then our shorter Heng, Shu Go, Pie, Na, Mo. Jia, 价值. Jia is value or price, and it's just phonetic. You've got a person radical just to distinguish it from other characters, Pie, Shu, and then Jia again, which is person on top, Pie, Na, divided, Pie, Shu. So this part here is Ba, a division of things, division of people, but here it's just phonetic. Jia. End of lesson 8.